Hi there. We're continuing our progress through the Psalms, the Tehillim, that's the praises in Hebrew. And today we're in Psalm 127 in the Hebrew letter numbering system. That's Psalm Kuf, Kaf, Zayin. Kuf is 100, Kaf is 20, and Zayin is 7, 127. This is the next in the series of the 15 Shir Ma'alot, the songs of going up, the songs of ascents. And this one is L'Shlomo. It's by Solomon, or in a Solomonic tradition. And it's certainly a psalm of wisdom. It also mentions the building of the house, and obviously Solomon is the one who built the temple, so perhaps it's talking about the dependence on the Lord when we do things. This is what the psalm is all about. The first part of the psalm anyway, verses 1 and 2, are saying we have to depend on the Lord. The second half of the psalm is really about the blessing of God in family and in the provision of descent, in the provision of descendants. Remember, in ancient times, having children, particularly because of the rights of primogeniture, having sons was seen as a blessing and a help to people when they were in their old age. So it's a Shir Ma'alot L'Shlomo, and the first line says, Im Adonai lo yivne bayit, shavam lo bonapo. If the Lord doesn't build the house, then it's useless the builder's trying to work. This word shav appears a couple of times in this psalm. It means useless, it's pointless, don't even try it. And this actually is a well-known verse to residents where I live, the city of Edinburgh, because the city of Edinburgh's motto, Nisi Dominus Frustra, given to the city by the covenanting city fathers in the 1639, is a contraction of this verse. Unless the Lord builds the house, they labour in vain that build it. Nisi, unless Dominus, the Lord, frustra, in vain. So it's one that's written in many places in our city, and it's a good one to have because it's saying that we need to involve the Lord in everything that we do. Im Adonai lo yishmor ir shav shochet shomer. If the Lord doesn't guard the city, if the Lord isn't called on for the defense of the city, then the watchmen, it says, they watch. There's no point in watching because the city is not going to be protected by the one who can fully protect it. And then it says, Shav lachem mashkimei kum ma'achrit shevet ochle lechem ha'atzavim, which means it's vain, it's useless, it's pointless getting up early, it's pointless going to bed late, sitting up late, it's pointless eating the bread, the food, lechem ha'atzavim, which means the bread of toil. Having earned your bread by putting all this work in. If you're going to put all this work in without involving God, it's pointless, says the psalmist. Again, pointing to the fact that we need God involved in everything. And particularly when we're talking about a Solomonic psalm, Solomon talking about the involvement of the Lord, consulting him in the building, particularly of the temple, which he was assigned to do by his father in those ancient times. And because it says, Ken yiten ledido shena, because he gives his beloved one sleep. So we don't need to be striving and toiling without God. If we bring God in, it says he gives his beloved sleep. And actually that word beloved, lidido, to his beloved one, is a link perhaps to the fact that Solomon was the beloved son, another name given Yedidyah. He was given the name that means beloved. He was the beloved son. And then it goes on and talks about the blessings of children. Hine nachlat Adonai banim, shachar pari habaten. Look, sons are an inheritance from the Lord. The Lord is they're a legacy from God, and the fruit of the womb is a reward. It's a payback for our lives. And so there's this seeing children not as a nuisance, not as a problem, but actually as a gift, as something to be valued. Kechitzim b'yad gibor, like arrows in the hand of a warrior, hand of a strong man. Ken b'nei hanorim, so are the children of one's youth, those children of the young, having the children early on. Ashrei hagever, how happy, how content, how satisfied is the man, is the warrior, if you like, is the soldier, if you like. Asher mileh et ashpato mehem, who has his quiver full of them. This is Ashpato is the hiding place where he keeps his arrows. And happy is the one whose sons are like arrows, whose children are like arrows. And and it's saying lo yevoshu ki yadebru et oyevim b'sha'av. And they will not be ashamed because they will speak, or they will not be ashamed because they will speak in the gate. Now, what does that mean? Well, the gate of the city was the place where decisions were made. It was a place where the disputes were heard. It was a place where the elders of the city sat. And so what it is saying is a man who has children, particularly sons in this case, because this was the culture of the time, a man who could stand with his sons and could argue his case in the gate, who had witnesses to his good character, would be at an advantage against his oyevim, against his enemies, because they would be able to stand and dispute with him. So this is a song about the blessing of God on those who will give themselves over to God, both for his blessing upon their work, but also his blessing upon their families. We can be saying today, God, will you release a blessing upon our cities, upon our homes, upon our communities, and upon our families, because this is the promise that you will give us peace, you will give us sleep, you will give us rest, you will give us a legacy into the future. Have a good day.